everyone, welcome to the channel. If you're new, my name's Michelle and we are getting into House of the Dragon Season 2 finale today. But before we do, if y'all can drop a like on the video because it really helps in the algorithm and I'd appreciate it. Now, last episode, that was my favorite episode of the entire series. For me, I know it may not be for everyone else, but it was definitely the strongest of the season. And for me, it was just, it gave me everything I've wanted from House of the Dragon, the Targaryens, and just the whole Valyrian feel that the claiming of Vermithor gave me, and Rhaenyra kind of leading it. And I'm loving seeing where Rhaenyra has like this found confidence in her, where it's not that she doesn't listen to the cons that people are proposing to her and the downsides. It's understanding that there is no options afforded to her, and we see her kind of claiming whatever rationalities she can in order to move forward inside of her, because she understands that it's either this or nothing else, and nothing else just means death. So she has to go down this path. There is no other choice, and we're seeing her kind of cling to the gods and the belief that this is what needs to be done. She gave that speech to all of the dragon seeds, and it's like, you know, it's making me wonder whether she believes it or if she doesn't, or she's just saying it. Like, this is what is needed, not just to unite the realm, but to like let go of famine and starvation and the injustices in the realm. It's like trying to create a better Westeros. I wonder if she really believes that, or if it's just what she's selling to them because they are lowborn, and so really all they know are the injustices of the Westerosi hierarchy, and never really having an option or a path to rise, at least to their eyes. It's just this. But claiming this dragon really does allow them to access a power that, or a space that maybe their blood, by blood, they were supposed to have or to claim, because they are of Targaryen or Valyrian descent, but because they don't have the right last name, it's been denied to them. So just seeing Rhaenyra had like this confidence to her was just so enjoyable, considering how unsure she's been this entire season. I'm really excited for the finale, and I really just want to see Daemon out of Harrenhal. I want Daemon and Rhaenyra to reunite, drag his ass back to Dragonstone, get Craxes, maybe go link up with Rhaena, tell her to come home too. Like, let's get the family back, please, and then let's go take King's Landing. Anyways, let's get into this episode. So grab a drink, grab a snack, whatever it is you like to do when you watch your favorite reactions. Just get comfortable and let's get to. That looks fake as shit.
We sell where we please, blockade or no. Essos is as rich and is as vast.
It seems you need us more than we need you.
True.
A fleet of warships, then. Sailing at your command, they would break the blockade and hold the passage.
Fine. I mean, he's like, what option do I have? I mean, it's a shit deal.
Regent may have me hanged for this.
Yeah.
Admiral Lohar. This is Tyrion Lannister of Casterly Rock.
I will not sail with a man who cannot best me.
Yeah, well, she said you a bitch. What? Fighting, I would imagine. Oh shit. Oh my god. Well, he's pissed. So he's just burning shit down now. Lovely.
We must leave King's Landing quickly, and we will not return for some time.
Oh. Okay.
What? The Pretender has found 3 new riders for her dragons.
My dragon is dead. I am burnt and disgusting and alone, and I'm a cripple.
You're not alone.
My cock is destroyed. Did they tell you that? Yeah. It burst into flames like a sausage on a spit.
Do not despair, your...
Good. That's what you get for being a...
I can't even piss without it running down my leg.
They will be tired of endless deprivation and fear. They will hail the returning king. Aegon the Peacemaker.
Aegon the realm's delight.
Excuse you? That's what Viserys called Rhaenyra because she was his delight. You were his mistake.
Remove your feet from the table.
I'd rather not.
Ulf, it's not up to you. Ulf?
Who's it up to then? Boy?
Do you know what has happened this last hour? The so-called Prince Regent has burned Sharppoint down to its stones. Thousands of its folk, dead or lost, its harbour in ashes. If you hinder our efforts through sloth or unreadiness,
damn, Jacaerys.
And your body fed to the dogs in the street.
God damn, Jacaerys.
I meant no disrespect.
Oh my god. This man's like, I will suffer none of it.
I had hoped my advantage may be in deterrence. Vhagar has ever been our foremost threat, and she is now overmatched.
Vhagar's not his only dragon.
Helaena. She does not ride. She has no taste for it.
She may yet be compelled.
Still, Helaena is no warrior.
Are they really about to put
He has now discovered he is
Helaena
not.
out there?
He'll be angry, desperate.
Oh, fuck that. Leave Helaena alone.
Mustered an army, Rhaenyra has faltered.
Excuse you?
Turning aside from our judgment and taking a course I myself deem reckless.
Rhaenyra will chart her own course, for good or ill.
If you declare yourself,
Excuse you?
your lords will follow you.
Excuse you?
I never took you for a turncloak, Sir Alfred.
You know, I theorized that Rhaenyra can, you know, figure out if Alfred would turn on her by sending him to Daemon. It was a smart idea to root out any kind of disloyalty. Is that Simon? Simon, please be careful.
The Prince Regent, Your Grace.
Helaena, here you are. Mother.
Oh, please don't do what Corlys thought. Oh, please no.
The crown has need of your service.
They have defiled our birthright, made commoners into dragon lords. It is a sin and must be punished.
May I remind you, your sister is still the queen.
As you were once. And you see now.
Of all our line, the gentlest and most deserving of your protection.
Who will protect her if she cannot protect herself?
And who will she be if her mind is broken?
It is no longer our rule that is threatened. Very lives would you not have us prevail?
Not like this.
Well, Alicent, you should have never told Aegon and Aemon and Helaena that we must usurp the throne to save our lives. That's what you put in their heads. Eh? Oh. Yeah, you would be a panty snuffer.
Do you think nothing of your oath?
Do not think I have no shame in me, sir. Desire for women has brought me grief after grief.
Then resist it.
I would that it was so simple.
Your brothers in the King's Guard find a way.
Do they, though?
Do they?
Thank you, though. Thank you. Like, we just saw that with Aegon. Oh, hell no. What is this? Okay, Tyland. Okay. I guess. He wins.
It does not befit a prince to pout.
Have you seen that boy's lips? They're in a permanent pout. He can't help it.
If any common lout can ride a dragon, then...
That does not make me common. Or you.
You know what I am.
I don't care. You are the crown prince. Get up and take your place by your mother's side.
At least he has Baela.
More wine here.
taming a dragon's thirsty work.
Oh, and some more of these little birds.
Like, act like you've been here before.
I have entrusted you with a power only few have known, and I charge you to take it up with fealty and respect. Serve me well, and I will make you knights of the realm. We must strike while we have the advantage, and end this war. Learn your beasts and your commands. You will fly in 2 days' time. And Lannisport and their armies all must be subdued. Alone, without allies, you will have no choice but to surrender.
You wish for us to kill innocents?
The Prince Regent cannot defend against all of us.
I'll take him on myself. Silverwing's a goer, she is. We're afraid of nothing, even if you are.
There will be time enough to see which one of us is a coward.
A knight will comport himself with grace at the Queen's table.
Best make me a knight, then.
Okay, pack his ass up right fucking now. Oh my god.
Do you wish then to learn what is given to you?
What's that supposed to mean? Oh! Oh god, I'm afraid of what are we about to see? Oh, the night kid. Oh my god, what the hell? Bitch! Bitch! What's going on? Oh. Oh my god, is that the comet? Yes!
It's all a story.
What the fuck?
And you're but one part in it. You know your part.
¿Cómo estás? ¿Por qué? What? 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 Was she talking to David? What? Was she somehow in the dream?
Aegon will be king again. He's yet to see victory. He sits on a wooden throne, and you'll be dead. You were swallowed up in the god's eye, and you were never seen again.
Y'all, did they just have Helena spoil the show? God damn.
It wouldn't change anything.
They really just had Helena lay out the show? Shit. What were they thinking? That felt a little too spoilery. Shit. Is that just me? God damn. Oh, fuck. Awkward. Craxy said, don't y'all try. I mean, Sark said, try anything and see what happens. I'll burn you bitches. Did you get Sir Alfred in line? Take a head?
I wasn't expecting you.
I see you have done well here.
They are sworn to me, and not a moment too soon.
And to whom are you sworn?
Shake him. Boy, stop taking so long. Oh, bitch. She's like, last time I spoke about that, you choked me.
Uiunda, uina juragon costo tuta warunda. You are the true queen, Rhaenyra. First of her name, protector of the realm. I am meant to serve you.
Good. No more hijinks, Daemon. Yeah, that's right. You kneel too. I still think you should have taken that man's head. Shit. Yeah, that's right. Kneel! Sir Simon really is just like the background character, like going in shock out of everything he's seeing.
She's
like, yeah, I got dragon now. Try some shit, bitch.
Silutan.
There will be no mercy! We fight for our queen!
Exactly! Get your shit together! Alfred, where your ass going?
I had to see you.
Oh. Is she gonna join Rhaenyra like I said a couple episodes ago? Oh my god!
I've been, I think, mistaken. I was raised to believe there was an order to things. That there was security in following the path laid out for us. I resented you, I think, for caring so little for any of it.
Why have you come here?
Because I lost my way, or rather it was taken from me. All those I put my faith in, my husband, my father, my lover, my son.
The incorruptible queen sullies herself with a lover.
Your father died, I took comfort with another. I too have desires.
Yes, but you alone made virtue your banner.
And I clung to it. I would take my daughter and her child and leave it all behind.
It's too late. You said it yourself. Blood has been shed. Your hands of what you yourself set in motion.
Oh, the arrogance of blaming me. As if you would not have been challenged regardless.
Did not your hand bring it forth like a midwife?
I did only what I thought your father wanted.
No, he wanted you to wear that green dress? What do you mean? You put on that green dress on the day of her wedding of your own volition. What?
What of Aegon?
Pillow or poison.
He has many faults, but he still heeds his mother. I believe I can prevail upon him to bend the knee if
No!
needed.
Still you imagine you can have all you want without paying too high a price. I must take Aegon's head. And I have to do it for all to see. You know this.
Should never taken the fucking throne. Should never put on the green dress. This whole crying is like whatever to me. If you're not gonna kill your son, leave. Poison, pillow, something. She's a pathetic character. I don't say that nicely. This poor girl. How long has she been running? Oh, God. Is that sheep stealer? The wings look so weird. What's this? Bitch, is that Otto? What the fuck happened to him? Did I miss something? Why does it look like he in jail? If I have to see Alicent's sad ass face one more time, good lord. I went from liking her in one episode and just disliking her, if I see her sad, mopey little face one more time in this damn montage. Oh. Well, Aegon's gone. They show me her face one more time. Beautiful music. Beautiful gowns. Okay, so that was the finale for House of the Dragon's second season. And the finale itself felt like it was really, hopefully my hope is that in the premiere, it's like really like grand. I feel like there's certain finales where, how can I put it? You know what this reminds me of? I don't know if you all remember, and I don't remember what year this was, maybe 2017, 2016, whatever year, The Walking Dead season 6 finale, where everything, the entire episode just kept building, and then you finally get like Negan going eeny meeny miny mo, and then it like cuts and you don't get to see what happens, and it's like just eternal blue balls. That's sort of what this episode kind of gave as a finale. It very much, it's nowhere near as blue ballish as The Walking Dead season, was it season 6 finale or the season? No, it had to be season 6 finale, but it was nowhere near the levels of blue balls that episode gave. I will never forget that feeling, sitting in my living room with my sister watching that, and then it just kind of like ended the way it did with the blood going down the screen, and you never find out who it was. And then season 7 opener was insane, like the acting. Okay, I'm talking about Walking Dead too much. House of the Dragon. House of the Dragon sort of gave like mini, like it wasn't as extreme, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I will say the highlights for me in this episode was Alan kind of standing up to Corlys and telling him the trappings and the tragedies of being a bastard, especially to a high lord. And then the Daemon Rhaenyra finally like reconciling, I guess, in a way. And then Alicent and Rhaenyra sort of having their little powwow. Great acting in that scene between Rhaenyra and Alicent. Excellent acting in that scene. I will say this episode as a whole, like the whole Thailand stuff didn't really feel finale stuff. Like it felt like a setup that had to happen in order to bring about certain events in season 3, which is why I wish it would have been done earlier in the season. Maybe Thailand goes off and so we don't have to have it in the finale. It felt like we were just running out of stuff to put in it. But I will say, I really do like the cruelty of Corlys was on full display here. I mean, how can you look and know that that's your child starving and then you have other 2 children? But it's just that class divide that exists that I think was really prevalent or simmering underneath in the previous episode. You know, how did we go from like episode 7 being my absolute favorite and then we get 8 and it's like, yeah, it's like warm. It's like warm water. It's not hot to the point where it's like enjoyable, but it's not like cold to the point where you're screaming, I gotta get out. It's like a whatever warm. Like, you know, when the water's just like whatever warm, it's not giving anything. It's not giving me, this is so cold, I gotta get the hell out of here. It's not giving me hot, oh, this feels so good. Like it doesn't give me either. It's just there. I guess the only like big scenes in terms of character development was really Daemon kind of coming around and having that dream and seeing it's sad. Like we had like a Daenerys Targaryen drop and it was like really big and revelatory and like a great moment, but I feel like maybe it either happened too early in the episode or it just we didn't get enough of Daemon to feel the lasting effects of seeing Daenerys and the Night King and Bloodraven and just the others and we actually got that. I don't know, it just didn't hit as much as I would have wanted it to because maybe it happened too early in the episode. But it is fascinating to see Daemon now come around after seeing that, and now he is a believer in Aegon's dream and winter's coming and the threat from the north. Like he's on board now. I am wondering the whole Sir Alfred like cutting into the crowd and disappearing, like where you bring your ass back here. Like, bring that ass back here, Sir Alfred. And then we have Ulf, who is just a menace, like an uncouth menace sitting at that goddamn table. And you can really feel the tension and the mistrust in those scenes. And it is interesting. I will say this. Nettles, I do wonder if she will make an appearance, or if they will create a completely different dragon and have her appear, or if Rhaena will fail at claiming this dragon. It's like a fake out, which I think would suck to have these last like couple of episodes of just Rhaena running around and damn near starving to death out there, and then she doesn't end up claiming it, or she does end up claiming and they still bring in Nettles. And it's just, the character is so important that I am interested to see how blending Rhaena into it will impact such massive plot points down the line. I'm very interested to see. I think that's probably, you know, it's so funny. This finale, the most exciting thing for me about it is the implications of Rhaena. Like, that to me is like the most exciting part of this episode, because if Rhaena, and if that is Sheep Stealer, and Rhaena is claiming, and if that happens, then, oh, whoops, I gotta feed my dogs. That's my alarm to, it's 4 o'clock, time to feed them. But the implications of Rhaena being the one who does that, it makes me wonder where her storyline goes, if she's claiming parts of Nettle's storyline. Like, to me, that's the most exciting thing. Like, that's the only like question mark. Like, if that happens, then what does that mean for this? Like, I'm like so curious as to what they're gonna do. Okay, so the Alicent Rhaenyra scene. It's a great display of acting. I just don't know what it does in terms of their characters, other than for like the scene in terms of, I guess, Rhaenyra saying history will paint you as a villain. I guess that's kind of like a nod to how Alicent's portrayed in Fire and Blood versus the version that the writers have crafted for House of the Dragon, which like I said, I don't find, like, okay, Fire and Blood, we'll never know what really happens, but I just don't see House of the Dragon being what happened. I mean, the ages are completely different. The ages, the setup, the people, like, everyone's so different that it just can't be the truth of Fire and Blood. To me, this is just like another show developing, like, taking inspiration from what's written in Fire and Blood and crafting its own thing. But I guess that was a nod to the books, like how Alicent's portrayed in Fire and Blood, like history will paint you as a villain and grasping for power. My problem with Alicent, in particularly in this episode, it's so interesting because on one point I can recognize her as a tragic character, and then as that scene wraps up, the only feeling I get is pathetic. Like, she is so pathetic, and I don't say that necessarily in a malicious way, like, oh, you're so pathetic. I'm just saying her motivations, her character, her life is just pathetic, and it's really interesting to me. And I don't know whether the writers, it's always a curious thing. Sorry, I'm trying to like get my thoughts. I don't know whether the writers are trying to rewrite history and kind of wash Alicent clean, or if the way they're presenting it is Alicent is still not seeing the truth. Like, she's still protecting her own sense of self. Like, I don't know if it's like a twofer, because for me, Alicent, you can say her age, her influences, you know, she says, I only did what was expected of me, but that's not true. She did so many things that, you know, is not expectant to her in regards to what her father wanted for her, in regards to a woman's place. She believes in an order and a duty and things, and there's so many little hypocrisies in Alicent's character where it just adds up, and it adds up, and it adds up. And so every time she opens her mouth, I just roll my eyes a lot of the time now, because you see when she confronts Criston Cole, because he didn't support her in like, or backing her up at the council so she would have a place there, and he's like, I spared you and all of this, and she kind of confronts him about doing the right thing and justice and the order of things. Both of these characters really hinge on doing the order of things, but they say that in one breath. And the order of things is to follow your king. Your king's word is law. And you are supposed to obey your king, obey your husband, obey your king as Lord Commander. Well, he wasn't Lord Commander, but part of the King's Guard. But we actively saw them plotting against Rhaenyra, raising the children to usurp the throne. It's like, how is that part of the order of things? You are taking it upon yourself. Whoever gave you this authority, this power, this divine right to defy the king and his word and his law, to rewrite things, like, who chose you to do that? And there's just this level of delusion surrounding both Criston Cole and Alicent's characters, that anytime they speak in this way of saying, I'm helpless, I can't do anything about it, it's like, y'all two actively took a role in this, and like Rhaenyra said, you made virtue your banner while not committing virtuous acts. You all were going against the order of things this entire time too. And so to turn around and say we were just fighting for the order of things, la 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 la, everything's fucked up, dragons dying, people dying, children being killed and beheaded. Oh, like it's like you throw a stone out your window into traffic, and then you're fucking shocked that the stone went through someone's windshield and now they have brain damage and in a coma. Like, you threw a stone in, like, you were plotting to put Aegon on the throne. And she did that for 16 years. The 10-year time skip between the wedding, which she donned that green dress. I distinctly remember Harwin and Larys talking, saying, oh, that's the green color. She's wearing green, which is the colors of when House Hightower, like, calls their banners to war. And she's walking down the throne room. Everyone sees it. It's a whole scandal. She's wearing green. She's declaring war, and she stands in front of the king, in front of the Iron Throne, and postures herself. And she dons the colors of war. And then we see in that 10-year time skip, she has maintained this course. And then we see again in the 6-year time skip after Rhaenyra and Daemon marry, she's still on that course. Now at the end of episode 8, she has this like it's so funny. Episode 8 is like one of those episodes where I'm like, you what? Like, I'm just like a question mark, because she comes into episode 8 ready to put the whole plan into motion with Vaemond. In season 1, episode 8, the whole Vaemond plot, she's part of it. She hits Aegon saying, how can you carry on like this, i.e. being a woman, the night before we're supposed to like lay our plans to usurp the throne and put you on it. How can you carry on like this? All of this nice, very fucked up stuff. I say nice stuff, you know, in irony, but all of this crap. And then Viserys gives a speech, right? He does his grand speech. Then Rhaenyra stands up first, makes like a whole plea, says thank you, all of this. And then Alicent's like, you know what? 16 years of me fearing that you are going to kill my children to take the throne. 16 years of me calling you a Jezebel, bastard, barren bitch. Here's the throne. You'll make a good queen. What that to me was like the most what? And then 10 minutes later, Viserys is like, Aegon's the one, put him on the throne. And then we get the next episode of Alicent telling Otto, he changed his mind. He changed it. And then now we have this scene here. It's like fucking hell. Pick a lane and stick to it at this point, because you going back and forth doesn't make you sympathetic. It makes you annoying. Like Alicent, I don't think the writers understand. I don't know if she's meant to be like an annoying character, but holy shit, there's moments where by virtue, by the nature of what her character was, a child bride forced into this marriage, manipulated, and all of this, like by just the objective nature of everything we've seen her character go through, she is 100% a victim. And I am supposed to extend empathy and sympathy and use critical thinking to break down the manipulations of a child who went through marital rape. All of this trash that had trash and trauma that has been thrown onto this girl from childhood into into adulthood. You're supposed to use your put on your thinking caps and look at her critically, empathetically. But then the writers just sway her so many times. I understand that that internal conflict is part of it, but it has to make sense. The leaps in her judgment, the leaps in her choices, particularly that season 1 episode 8, where all of this now into season 2 hinges on. Alicent says Viserys changed his mind, changed his mind, changed his mind, changed his mind. That's part of what it is. And then we have the whole big, Rhaenyra changes into a septa and is like, oh, my father didn't change his mind because it was Aegon's dream that he was referring to. And it's like, okay, so what was it all for? And then you go back to season 1, it's like you spent 16 years. It's the fact that Rhaenyra was supposed to kill them all. And it's interesting because Aemon brings that up again in this episode. He's like, it's no longer about the throne. It's our lives that are now at stake. And granted, I think Alicent probably, well, no, she does clearly care if they live or die because she refuses to kill Aegon. So it's like, no, I will not kill my son. So clearly she still cares whether the kids live or die. So it's like Aemon, I don't see, it's one thing to have a character. It's interesting because when you say a character who's linear, you mean that they pick sometimes when you use the word a linear character, you can mean two things. Linear in the sense that every decision they make, you can understand. Like, even if it's going against something that they previously thought, you can now understand how they now have arrived. It all makes sense. It's a linear narrative or character development where you can go back on that path and track point C led to point D, and the things that happen to point D leads to point E and F. And even though point B may differ from point F, you understand C, D, E led to F. For Alicent, it's like they erase C, D, E, F for her, and then we get, like, you go from B to F and you are left like with this big ass hole of C, D, E. So when scenes like this happen, they're supposed to be powerful, they're supposed to be emotional, great acting, but it's so grating for me at times. At times I can put on my thinking cap and understand her trauma and her pain. Holy shit, I just don't find myself caring in moments like that where she's like, oh God, I didn't have a choice. I did what was expected of me. I did this, I did that. But it's like, no, you fucking didn't. And that's what's annoying for me, because you have Westerosi standards that Alicent clearly went against and clearly took advantage of and used her position and power to block Rhaenyra out and make things hellish for her as well. And it's like, spare me your tears. And then the audacity to ask Alicent ask Rhaenyra to come away with her. What? Move! Sorry. This episode, I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was an episode. I guess Rhaena is out there running after Sheep Stealer. Jacaerys is like, you all are every time. I think Jacaerys is like, every time Ulf opens his mouth, you're like proving my fucking point. Mongrel is all he. I'm telling you, Jacaerys he looks at Ulf and says mongrel. You can hear him saying it. He backs up his mother at that table, so you can see him taking Baela's advice. So he's trying to like prove himself. The Tylan plotline feels like it should have happened like in episode 5. It did not feel finale worthy. It was very forgettable. Alan finally like standing up for himself to Corlys was great. Great acting, great writing, great calling Corlys out. Like, sir, you just walked past me starving, with your children and your furs and your money and your coats, while I'm out here on the fucking street asking, can I have some more in my little cup with 5 cents in it? Okay, like, I'm glad Alan got that moment. Adam seems great. The Rhaenyra and Daemon reconciliation, him getting on his knees and like swearing fealty, I kind of knew it was gonna go that way, because like, where else could it go? I mean, even if you don't read Fire and Blood, like, even if you don't, it's clear what these hallucinations, like from the very first hallucination of young Rhaenyra, like sewing up the Jaehaerys's neck and saying, always cleaning up your mess. From the moment she said that, from that very first hallucination, you knew where Daemon's storyline was going. So there was really no big surprise of him bending the knee and doing all of that. Sucks that it took like 6 episodes for us to get here, like the entire season. Like, I would have loved to have seen more of them. But on one hand, I'm glad Rhaenyra got the chance to do the dragon seed on her own and find a confidence and a strength within herself. And it will be interesting to see how she and Daemon now come back together with the addition of Mysaria. Like I said, the most exciting storylines for me going forward is the Mysaria, Rhaenyra, Daemon, and maybe fucking Rhaena, because if she becomes Nettles, then we're gonna have to add Rhaena to that effect. Then I will say this: what the hell are they doing with Helaena? Y'all just had her spoiled. Like, I thought Helaena, I feel like Helena's little tidbits of information has always been really like question marky enough, like weird enough, question mark enough, abstract enough. But they outright said Aegon will be king. He'll sit on a wooden throne and you will be dead. Y'all just spoiled the fucking show. Like, what? How do you have Helaena do that? I feel like I'm just complaining about this episode. Great acting in the Rhaenyra Alicent scene. Great acting with the Alan Corlys scene. Great acting with Daemon and Rhaenyra. Beautiful. The score in the last scene, gorgeous, new. Love the sunset. Hopefully when we jump back in season 3, we'll get into the taking of King's Landing. We get to see Rhaenyra as queen. There's been a massive setup piece with the character of Larys. He did some shit that was said, and I think in this episode he mentioned it, which will really play a huge role going forward. There was another thing that was said in the Tylan scenes about let's go to the gullet that just made me lose my smile, because that is a massive event in Fire and Blood that I am not looking forward to in the show. Like, let's slow the show down so we don't have to get there. I guess for season 3, I want more Jacaerys and Rhaenyra. I want to see Daemon now adjusting to Rhaenyra's confidence, even though I feel like he'd be fine with it. Like, his reaction to the Dragon Seeds, I would like to see him acknowledge her more, and acknowledge Baela and Rhaena Like, please let this man spend some time with his daughters. Please, show, please let his new transformation translate to his daughters. We literally had Laena pop up on a couple of occasions to remind his ass that he has daughters too. Like, I would really love to see that in season 3, him acknowledge Baela, especially Rhaena. Let's see, what else? Can't think of anything else. Well, hopefully we get to see Rhaenyra as queen. See what happens with Alicent. There was a moment that made me looked like it was Dreamfire. So I have to go back and see whether or not that was Dreamfire. Because that dragon did not look like Vhagar. And I saw a green banner, so I really think that was Dreamfire. So God help Helaena if Aemon really put that girl out there in battle. That is so fucked up. Oh, poor Helaena. Save her from that boy. Because that man is going, like, if we really put Helaena on Dragonback, because she said she doesn't want to burn people. You know, I will say this. A lot of the details, and I'm like 30 minutes in, and I've been dragging this episode and this season and this show. I'm so sorry. But there are certain events that of Blood and Cheese, like Helena and Alicent in Blood and Cheese was changed a lot. And I will say Helena's character has recovered quite a bit. So either Aemon is going to force Helaena to fight, and she's going to kill people. And I do think Alicent mentioning the breaking of Helena's mind, I will say the tragedy of Blood and Cheese fractured Helaena forever, because the way it went down was vastly different, and the guilt and the shame that Helaena felt really haunted her throughout. Let's redo that. I might have spoiled something. Yes, the happenings of Blood and Cheese, the way it was alleged to have gone down, really left a mark, a far greater mark in what was said in Fire and Blood versus what we see in the show. So I do wonder if they're gonna go down one theory with Helaena, or if they're gonna have her mind, like have her suffer the way she was supposed to after Blood and Cheese, with Aemon forcing her to go out there and kill people. Like, because Alicent said something that felt like a nod to Helena's state of mind, and when Aemon snatches her up and says, get to fighting, girl, she mentions Helena's mind and protecting her mind, and it really does leave me to wonder whether or not she will fight, and that will bring her into the state that she was said to be in after Blood and Cheese, or if they're going to go down a different route that was said about Helaena in Fire and Blood. So those are probably things I'm really excited to see. The Mysaria, Daemon, Rhaenyra, possibly Rhaena storyline, how that pans out, and the Helaena storyline is also very, 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 very interesting to me to see how that goes down. And a lot of events surrounding Helaena have been, not a lot, but like the massive event surrounding Helaena was shifted, so of course it shifted her state of mind a bit. But either way, Season 2 produced the best episode in the series, Season 2, Episode 7, so I cannot knock it. The claiming of Vermithor was the best scene, and it started with Rhaenyra coming down the stairs and the Dragon Keepers saying this is an abomination. And then from there all the way to Silverwings claiming it was phenomenal. It was everything. It was dark. It was like dark fantasy and magic, and it was just great. I loved it. We need more of that. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see House of Dragon again whenever season 3 comes out. Give it another 2 years, most likely. Anyways, thank you all so much and take care, everyone.